Dr. Warren, Dr. Warren, would you guys like to do invocation tonight too, or we've got someone else who could do that? I would just lead us in a prayer, and we'll all join you. That's all right.
Father, we want to thank you for bringing us all together and giving us this opportunity to celebrate the students of CCA and everybody here supporting the town of Andrew. We want to thank you for having such a supportive community, and we just pray that everybody here continues to work together to support everybody here in Andrew. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you guys so much. You did a great job. Better than I did my first time. Look, guys, we got a long meeting, and you guys are welcome to stay. But if you would like to leave, I'll give you a second. If I could leave, I would leave too. I'm just saying. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, we have approval of agenda. We've all got the agenda. Are there any amendments to the agenda tonight?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we table the request for the rezoning application for Donald Gregory to another date and time. He has asked that it be tabled because he wants to bring his legal team to the next meeting.
Is there hold on, guys. No. What his legal team? It's
Legal team.
a legislative decision.
Yeah. He wants to make sure that he's well represented with his rezoning.
Okay. There's a lot of people that came tonight for public hearing.
I understand. I'm just the messenger. I was asked to be the one to table it.
Considering that we do have folks here, I'm assuming, that would like to speak, do we have a date that he's proposed? Assuming the next meeting?
The next meeting.
So right after elections.
Wednesday, November.
5th. Okay. Well, I don't get to vote, so any further discussion? All those in favor of removing it from the agenda, raise your right hand. Opposed? 3-1. It carries. All right. Next is consent agenda. Any discussion about the consent agenda? If
I
not,
think you actually need to approve the agenda with that change.
Oh,
Yeah.
every time. I'm sorry. All right. Any other changes to the agenda tonight? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve it as amended.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as been amended.
All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand. That's unanimous. Now consent agenda. My apologies. Any discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent?
All those in favor, raise your right hand. All right, we have two presentations tonight. The first one is on myself. We have a proclamation honoring Lewis Weatherspoon, who passed away a couple of weeks ago. Yesterday, we, as a town, had a small service at the Flag where most of his family was there. And so we presented them the physical framed one that we normally have then to be easier for them. So tonight I will read it, and we'll have a moment of silence and not all the fanfare that we normally do. I have a proclamation honoring Lewis Weatherspoon. Whereas, on behalf of the town of Andrew, we wish to extend our sincere condolences over the passing of Lewis Weatherspoon. And whereas Lewis Weatherspoon's death leaves our community with a deep feeling of sorrow for the loss of such an honored and respected citizen and public servant. And whereas Lewis Weatherspoon served as the Town of Anger Ward 1 Commissioner from 2013 to 2015. And whereas Lewis Weatherspoon served as the Town of Anger Mayor from 2015 to 2019, as well as served on the Harnett County Board of Commissioners from 2020 to 2024. And whereas Lewis Weatherspoon was a dedicated husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, as well as a dedicated member of Fuquay Varina Baptist Church and Piney Grove Chapel Baptist. And whereas Lewis Weatherspoon was bestowed the Lifetime Service Award for over a decade's worth of service to Harnett County and the Town of Anger by the North Carolina House of Representatives. And now, therefore, I, Robert M. Usness, Sr., Mayor of the Town of Anger, along with the Anger Board of Commissioners, recognize Lewis Weatherspoon's many contributions to the town and its citizens. We hereby express our deep appreciation for his dedication to the progress of this community and extend to his family our sincere sympathy upon his passing. You guys will join me for a moment of silence. I will say, I did not know Mr. Weatherspoon on a personal level very well, but professionally, I worked with him for my first year as mayor, was his last year as Harnett County Commissioner. The job's hard to be an elected official. You have to be a servant, and sometimes it is well received, and sometimes it's not. However you want to look at it, the man pushed this town forward, sometimes in ways that we didn't always appreciate at the time, but more and more we see that some of it, really laid the groundwork for some of the positive things that we're seeing now. So I'm certainly grateful for the year that we worked together. He was always there for me. When I had a question, he was quick to jump to the service of the town, even though he had moved to the county. So he will be missed. Would anybody else like to add anything? Well, thank you guys for allowing me to do that. Next, we have the Anger Library. Shift gears. Miss Jocelyn Williams is going to give us a presentation tonight. I asked her to stop by because I was in the library a couple of weeks ago and just noticed the amount of people coming in the door and the kind of services they offered. And sadly, even I did not know everything that they do for our community. So I asked her to come by. She was happy to do so and just run through some of the services they offer that we might not even know about.
Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Well, good afternoon or evening, everyone. My name is Jocelyn Williams, and I am the branch manager for the Anger Public Library. And I won't be before you long. I'd just like to tell you a lot about what we do and what we've done and where we were and where we are now. Let's see if this clicker works. So for starters, I'm just going to give you a year in review, our projects, and about us. This year in review, I did it on Canva, so when it transferred to PowerPoint, it looks a little winky there.
That's all right. On the agenda, it came out good.
Okay. So this pretty much, these photos will cover all of the different programs that we have done over the summer. The little girl behind the wings was our summer reading winner. We have adult programming. We have our STEM programs. We have our kickoff for summer reading. We have 2 dynamic story times that go on weekly, one for toddlers, one for pre-K. We have 4 wonderful programs that go on every Thursday night that range from Junior Book Club, Lego Club, Chats and Crafts, and then we also have game nights, yeah. And so, but one of the biggest programs that we have a lot of homeschool families that are in the community of Anger, and it came to my knowledge that it was something that was truly needed, and that was a STEM club. And of course, STEM club does cost a little bit of money, but we took a leap out there to offer it on Wednesdays, and it has grown financially. It's grown phenomenal. It ranges from 25 people to 49 is what we had last week.
Wow.
It's grown so much that we offer it now on Tuesday nights. So it's definitely something that the community needs and wants. We listen to what the community needs, and we try our hardest to provide it. We don't just provide for the children, we also provide for our older adults. If you look at what our statistics are, over the year from last September to this September, we did over 250 programs with the attendance of 5,592. Of that, that pretty much covers 9.27 of what our fiscal year per capita was. I can't see that from here. I
Is
need my
this
glasses.
just the Andrew location?
That's just the Andrew
Wow.
location. Yeah. And so, and when you break it all down, 34% of that were literacy programs, 19% of that were our STEM programs, 20% of that was our summer reading programs, and 0.8 of that was our technology programs. Our technology programs are beginning to grow because I partner with the Andrew Senior Center, and I go over there, they come over here. On Tuesdays, I have an open forum where they could come in from 1 to 3 and bring any questions. I don't care if it's a cell phone. I've had people come in last week. He had just bought a new laptop. He needed help getting it set up. I was there to help him set it up. We offer Book of Librarians, which they can block off a 45-minute session to get help. But that open 2-hour session, it doesn't leave them, I got to make this time. They could just drop in and come in and come out. If you look here, that we're, like I said, we're not just targeting just the children or the older adults. We help a wide range of adults. We try to make sure that we have program for everyone. Right now, I'm doing an 8-week program to help older adults that have issue with balance. It's called MOB, Matter of Balance. So it basically helps older adults with issues of falling, and that's a partnership with Midline Adults and Council. So we're working with older adults and helping them with that. Our projects that we have coming on. Last year, I wrote a grant for ADA compliance so that we can get doors. Oftentimes, I watch my older adults come in with walkers, like myself, but and they struggle. Those doors are very heavy. And then not only that, they have to go through my double wooden doors. So they come in and they have problems getting in and out. So we wrote the grant, we won the grant, and we have the grants coming in for that. And with Harnett County, they have gotten approved to do a grant so that we can have all of our books tagged so that our books will be on an RFID program, which means it'll be easier for customers to come in and get their books tagged, and they can get in and out a little bit better. The other grant that I wrote and we've gotten funding for was the hotspots to help people around here have Wi-Fi. Of course, with the way everything is going, some people can't afford Wi-Fi. A lot of people in this area can't afford Wi-Fi. I've had hotspots for this community for the past 2 years free of charge. They can come in and get a hotspot. They can get Chromebooks. They can get laptops. And all of this stuff is all free. And it's right here. And we've helped quite a few people with that. This is our kickoff for summer reading last year, where we had, with some funding that was given to us by Senator Bergen, we were able to bring Bright Star and other different programmers out to help us do things. These, again, are some of the things that we offer: seed gardening, notary service, STEM, book club, library assistance, community garden, Elijah Bear, which is a food barrel that's in the front that's helped a lot of people come in, technology classes, adult craft night, health awareness classes, summer reading, outreach, and story time. That's just to name a few. And these are some of the partners that we partner with: the Town of Andrew, Midlake Carolina Senior Center, ALA, and North Carolina Co-op Extension. And that's pretty much all I have.
Yeah, we had your partnerships. I think we had the Treats and Tales this morning.
Oh,
that
yes,
was
we
a
did do that
partnership
this
with the
morning.
library,
Yeah.
and I stopped by there.
Yeah.
It was extremely well attended
Yes.
today. I mean, it was as packed as this. So, again, I told you when we met back there, there's so much that you give our community. Given that we don't have our own community center officially yet, I mean, you guys really are filling a very big gap for our town and the people that live around here.
That's what we are here for. I mean, the library is so much more than just books. We provide a lot. Like I've told you before, when things have changed down the pipeline, seniors came in and they needed help on the computer just to get their SSI paperwork in because it was no longer being mailed. We were there for that. When people just need information help on the computers, we're here for faxing, we're here for copying. We're like a one-stop shop, and these services are free to them, and sometimes they don't even know it until they come in through the door. Even though the parking lot might look empty, that's just a mile setback, because just if it looks empty now, it's like my pastor said, you're either going through one thing and then coming out and coming back in. They had just left, and then the next
Yeah.
roll is on their way in.
And I stopped by. I thought it was a quiet time of day, a good time to stop and see what was going on. And I mean, we were there 15 minutes, and you helped 6 different people as they came in. So, thank
Keep us
you,
busy.
Yeah.
thank you,
Like,
Thank you.
and the Harnett County Library who has taken it over for now. But we appreciate you very much.
But without Harnett County helping us with that consortium, we wouldn't have been able to do and pay for a lot of different things that we do. Right now, I've just weeded through our nonfiction books because when they did the survey for Harnett County, that's one thing that they did say about Andrew Public Library is that our nonfiction section was severely outdated, and they're not lying.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of these books over here that have been weeded are the nonfiction. I'm slowly but surely using any money that I can gather to buy new nonfiction books because especially my homeschool families, they use those books a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not fair for them to have old books that are dated 30 years
Yeah.
back.
So all the
That
Earth
way
is
it's
flat
not-
books are gone now.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate it. All right, we're going to move forward to public comment. Anyone may speak on any issue. We don't have the public hearing anymore tonight. We'll ask that you stick to 3 minutes so that we can keep things moving along. We ask that you give us your name and address so we can keep it for the records. As a general rule, the board will not address you at this exact time, but we may defer you to staff for some help. If you came for the public hearing, you would like to speak at public comment, that is certainly your right to do so tonight. We'll start with the public comment list. Paul Strohmeyer, you're on here first. And again, as he's coming out here, I'll remind everyone, we need you to come speak into the mic so it gets recorded and we can hear you. You want us to lower it a little bit?
Good
Paul,
evening.
would you mind giving us your address first?
My name is Paul Strohmeyer. I live at 228 Blair Drive in Windsor Subdivision. Good evening, everybody. My main intent tonight was to introduce our new fire chief, but we had a conflict of scheduling conflict tonight. He's actually at a building committee meeting with the contractor that I'm supposed to be at too, but I'm here tonight, so he's taking my place. Just want to officially introduce him. His name is Brent Mendenhall. We had a fairly exhaustive interview process. It took a month. The interview. We had 44 applicants for the job.
Wow.
We had some from overseas, so and all over the country. So it was a process, but we settled on Brent. He lives here in Anger. He lives out on Matt Mill Pond Road. He's got a pretty extensive fire service and military background, so he's going to be good for the town. I think some of you guys have already met him.
I saw him this
I know
morning.
he's
He's
been
great
some
at
bad lead.
reading books to kids.
Yeah, so
He really
he's
is.
going to be a good deal for us. So, anyhow, if you're going to see him around town, he's planning on being very open and be seen around town. So, but he's not here. He's busy.
We're stuck with you, Paul.
One thing I wanted to bring up too is I've been hearing a lot of talk about stormwater management. We've got a pretty bad problem at the end of our street, and it's been there for some time. When they built the subdivision on Tippett Road, they drained the pond. Like, they went in there with an excavator and dug the dam out, instantly drained it. It was in the middle of the day, flooded our yards. Since they built that subdivision, though, we've had a pretty bad drainage problem down there. We get flooded. I've lost probably 10 feet of my yard due to erosion since that whole thing happened. There's a couple of properties upstream from us that it's getting close to their outbuildings in the backyard. we're fine as far as buildings go, but we're losing property. We have contacted the town, we've contacted the county. They've come out and looked at it. They said everything's fine, but it's not fine. So ever since they built that subdivision, it's been a mess when we get any measurable rain. So I just want to bring it to your attention, and hopefully, you know, there's some stormwater management issues coming up in town, and I'd like to be on the list. It's at the far end of Blair Drive, so that we're having a problem. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Strohmeyer.
All right, thanks, guys.
Next, I have Alan Coates.
Good evening. I'm Alan Coates, 131 Wilma Street in Angier, North Carolina. Good evening, Mayor and Board. And I'm here basically, certainly to speak to you, but to all those people out there very quickly here. I'm here tonight to remind the public of two things. There's a special happening at the Depot Square on the 18th of October, and that is a yard sale beginning in the morning. It's a repeat of event that they have done and repeating that. And I'm happy to announce that during this return, there will be the return, if you know of anything about the Penny Social from the Crepe Myrtle Festival. This was done by them from years past. In my hand, I am holding 2 valuable reads for every citizen in Angier, and especially new people, citizens that have moved to Angier. It is the history of our town, telling you about its naming, citizens, businesses. It'll give you a good history of Angier. It makes a great birthday gift or housewarming gift for new people. The sad news is, book 1 has only 6 copies left. And we are dedicated at the Angier Museum in preserving the history of Angier. And we are desperately trying to raise money to reprint this book. So for that, we are sponsoring the return of the Penny Social. Yes, there will be crepe myrtle money trees. Your bidding starts from 8 until 11 during the yard sale in the beginning, and then we'll begin the drawing right at 11 o'clock. A $2 ticket gives you 25 chances to win over 100 items. I'd say that's a pretty good deal. But please come and join us. We really hope to raise enough money to reprint this book, and we'd like to do it in hard copy and not in paperback. So your support is very important to us at the Angier Museum. Oh, yes, tickets at the Chamber are also in advance on sale at the Chamber. Go to the Chamber website for information, and you can also go to the town Angier Museum Facebook page to get more details and some photos of what's there. All right. Now, I'm making a statement for myself and not for the museum. I'm just wanting to remind people there is an election coming up in just a couple of weeks, and it's a very important election. We have 3 current seats up here that are up for replacement, and your votes are going to determine who are making decisions and voting on rezoning and public issues with your interest in mind. We didn't get to hear about them tonight, but please go out and vote. Angier can change if we make the right choices. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coates. That's all I have signed up for that one, but as usual, you do not have to sign up to speak. If anyone else would like to speak at public comment, now's your time to shine. Join us up at the microphone and give us a name and address.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Sloan, and I live at 27 Wilma Street. I have public hearing comments here, but after the public hearing was tabled, I jotted some pencil and notes. The vote to table, when so many came out due to their interest, feels political, almost like an attempt to limit the impact of a rezoning decision on the election. I know Mr. Gregory actually asked for this, and so although it may be unintentional, it's kind of undermining the public trust. And our town really looks for openness, and we're missing that tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Sloan.
Dan, would you like to address that, the reason why, when he requested that, why we have to?
Well, he requested because he wanted his attorney to be here, which is something we've honored in the past, and it's kind of a routine request sometimes when a developer comes in with a rezoning or complicated request and they want their attorney present. We generally allow that.
Sir.
My name is Galen Bishop. I live at 9767 NC 210 at the Oak Hill Assisted Living Community. My intent to come tonight was to address the zoning issues. We had a petition signed by 65 residents and employees there that had great concerns about it. But I feel the same way that has been expressed already, that we were undermined. When you were talking about a tribute to Mr. Weatherspoon, you said you have to be a servant. That's right, but it has to be more specific. You have to be a servant. You're going to serve somebody. We're the ones supposed to get served, not a special interest. You said you were the messenger. You're also carrying water. All three of you that voted for that are carrying water for somebody, not the citizens of this town. Your time's coming soon, and I'm going to be so glad when Jennifer Sloan and Chuck Carey replace the two of you, and when you're gone, y'all have no interest in the people of Andrew.
That's your personal opinion.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop.
That's right. And everybody has one.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. Anyone else? Come on up, sir.
Bobby.
My name is Bobby Green, 133 South Cross Street, Andrew, North Carolina, 27501. I love saying that. Just want to make a quick reminder to everyone. This Saturday at 9 a.m., we will have our annual cancer walk at the park. Jack Marley. It's from 9 to 1 o'clock. If it rains, we're still going to have it. We're just going to get under the shelter. People can talk amongst themselves, share stories about their loved ones, or if they have cancer or being touched by it. And if you still want to make donations, it's fine too, because the money that we raise, we're actually giving it to a patient or a cancer person that really needs the money. I do a lot of stuff for this community, but that one really hits home for me. I love people. And it hurts my feelings sometimes to see us come together and we can't get along. We are Andrew, y'all. Y'all represent us. And it makes no sense sometimes to hear it go outside the town and hear people talk about us. Because when they talk about us, they talk about me too. And I get offended. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like nobody talking about me. And I don't like nobody talking about my family. And y'all are my family. I just hope that this election, people elect the people that they want in office, but do the diligence on them and know who you put in office, so we can get away from the division. We can get away from things that we don't want, but things that we do want. All the candidates that I'm running against, I respect them so much. Mr. Chuck, Mr. Sloan, the whole council. Even y'all, I respect y'all so much. Even though people don't see eye to eye, it still takes something on the inside for y'all to serve people. So I respect that. We're never going to make everyone happy, but I'm pretty sure later on down the road it'll come back. But didn't mean to take up too much time. If y'all can make it out Saturday 9 o'clock, come walk with us. Come laugh, cry, hug, because I'm a hugger. So if you see me, I'll probably hug you too. So thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, board. I'm Everett Blake, live at 352 Gardner Road, and just across the street from Andrew. Just wanted to bring to your attention, so we did have our planning board meeting last time. We are aware now the microphones did not work. That was a complete fluke. I know we have a planning board meeting coming up. We will pass the minutes at that time, so they will be written and on the record at that point. Appreciate you texting me. Unfortunately, I don't look at my phone during the meetings, so I kind of missed that until I got in the car. But just want to let you know, the discussion was there. It'll be on the record. It'll be part of the, not the recording, but the printed minutes. So there is a copy of what we talked about during that decision. So just want to let you know that was something that happened. It actually sounded good in here. Had no idea outside. So, but we'll try to do better next time. Maybe we'll try to spot check it before we get going too far in the meeting. But thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's happened to us too. Sometimes we don't see it coming, and yes, we don't check our phones up here either. So I don't know. Anyone else? Public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Amy Dragata, 195 Windsor Drive, Anger. I just wanted to say it makes me really sad about the table, the motion. I feel like the hearing could have happened. We could have tabled the vote with all the people here to speak. You could have heard the people speak. You've had multiple chances to listen to the public, and you choose not to, over and over and over again. We've had citizens of town hall events where people have come and shared their concerns. Some commissioners have come, some have not. We've been very public about that because Anger needs a change. Like, we need you guys to listen. We need you guys to represent us, and y'all are not doing it. Y'all say that you want to listen to us. We hear that over and over again. When you had the special hearing about the mayor, you said you wanted to hear from us, but you specifically turned off public comment, and the whole room was speechless and silenced because of you, because you didn't have the guts to listen. So right now, I'm asking you for the next 2 minutes to just listen. I'm glad to see that there's an update on the investigation that's coming on the agenda. I did see that you are asking for a subpoena, and my question for that when we get there, because I'm sure I won't get to speak on it, is who's going to pay for that? You said no taxpayer money is going to be spent. Subpoenas aren't free. So where's that money coming from?
Can I make a comment?
If you'd like to.
So the subpoena we are not having to be charged anything. The board actually has subpoena powers, and we can instruct our attorney on our behalf to do a subpoena for us. That's where it's coming from.
Tell us what information you're subpoenaing.
Yes, ma'am.
It seems that you already have access to that information.
I'm sure that we'll address that more specifically
Yes.
when we get to the agenda item.
Yeah, but no town money is going to be spent on it. We're not doing an investigation like that. But the community wants answers, so that's what we're going to deliver.
Thank you for speaking, ma'am. Is there anyone else for public comment tonight? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Deborah Myatt Fields. I live at 415 East Depot Street. I feel compelled to speak on the public hearing that didn't happen tonight as a candidate for town commissioner. I feel it's my duty to let voters know how I stand on that topic. It's a shame you two didn't do that, because they needed to know. Because what you did tonight was let them know, and it will cost you. And that's unfortunate for you. If you have some other feeling about it, then that vote represented. But having said that, there are a number of reasons why I oppose that R6 rezoning, but mainly because the area that I live in is that area, East Depot Street, and it's comprised of the oldest, the most established homes and neighborhoods in Anger. What has happened in that area has been happening for decades. Families have grown and lived in those houses for decades, and They've been passed down through generations. The kind of housing you're suggesting in R6 is temporary housing. This housing is not for people who are planning on spending the rest of their lives and retiring in those homes and raising their families for the rest of their lives and handing down those houses in their wills. That's not what those houses are going to be. So they're transitional houses, and eventually they'll become rental houses. And they will impact that neighborhood. They will impact Anger. We've had enough. You all voted and said you'd had enough of that, and now you're backpedaling. And Mr. Gregory has had plenty of time to get his legal team together.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir. You didn't sign up tonight, but it's okay. We didn't do the hearing, Chuck.
All right, anyways, here we go. Chuck Carey, 203 Blair Drive in Anger, North Carolina. I would like to start off with something really positive, So I met with Brandon recently, and he was really great.
Public Works?
Public Works, yes. And it was so exciting when I'm talking to people out, talking about the infrastructure, the water and sewer lines, and it was announced at the last meeting. But just so everybody knows, we're blessed to get a grant to help out with that. And the plan is just so great. It's going to be rocking and rolling. And as much as I'm against a lot of this quick development, at least we got a plan to handle all that, right? So I'm really excited about the future for Andrew as far as this, at least for the water and sewer lines and the infrastructure. That was great. And everybody who worked on that, Derek and Brandon and the board and everybody, thank you for that. I am also, I know we canceled the hearing, but I am also disappointed like other people because everybody here probably has something else to do. So one thing you don't want to do, I think, when you're in government is waste people's time. So, I mean, I'm cool, but I got, but not really. I mean, it's a waste of time, and I'm a little suspect. I don't know the people involved, all the players really, and all that, but you get suspect when this has been announced weeks ago. It's on the agenda, which everybody can see the agenda. Go online, see the agenda. And then at like the 11th hour, I just forgot to tell you I got to get my attorneys. Well, no, that don't go. Why wait? If it's that legit, why wait? What's his attorney only works on Tuesday nights? I don't know, but I'm being a little comical because it is comical. If we got a planning board that does a good job, we got a very qualified, certified planner. We've got a board that worked on stuff. The town's growing too fast. I like development, but it's got to be smart. We don't need people playing with the residents' time. It's important stuff. So that's it. We'll talk more about it, I guess, next time. But great about the water, and that's it. Thank you for your time, and let me come up.
Thanks, sir. Anyone else tonight for public comment?
Question of Dan. Dan, if a developer requests the opportunity to have legal counsel at a meeting, do we have the right to refuse that?
You could. It's like I said, it's something we've honored in the past. If they said, "Hey, our attorney can't make it tonight, can we reschedule?"
So we
We've
have
done
honored
that.
those requests in the past, and basically,
But it is
this
discretion.
evening's request was, my legal counsel can't be here tonight. Could we table it till the next meeting? So, although there's a lot of high feelings about this situation, we need to remember that a citizen, a developer, asked for their legal counsel to be in a public meeting where legalities are going to be discussed. Everybody has the opportunity to come next time when the legal counsels be here. They may not settle it at that time. It may be 6 months before it gets settled. But we can't refuse a citizen the right to legal counsel when they are when they are involved in a legal discussion. that we've done that in the past. We've always honored those requests. There would be no reason to not honor this. And I think if we didn't honor it, we would be opening ourselves up to legal ramifications ourselves. So,
Guys, please, public comment is over.
excuse me.
Thank you.
If the citizen asks for legal counsel to be available, and it's the town's practice to table an issue until their legal counsel can be here, then that is what we did tonight. There's no other dark reason for this. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't have legal counsel at all. I don't
Well,
know.
to that I would say, I've been mayor for 2 years now, and twice it has happened to my memory that we've had to table a hearing similar to this at least. In both of those cases, we went ahead and had the agenda item. We held the public hearing, or at least opened it, because some people had come, and then tabled it during the open public hearing, which kept the public hearing open. So at least it gave the people the opportunity to speak to it in case they couldn't come to the next one, and then continued the hearing at the next meeting. So in my experience, at least, which is short, this one is unique to me.
Well, I think it's common courtesy and standard practice that we have always done, as well as we don't want to open ourselves up to more legal issues, as well as I would think that you guys would want to be a part of the legal discussion when the attorney's here to discuss the issues that the community has at the same time, rather than, okay, we got issues, let's bring it back till next month, and then till next month, and then till next month. We don't want to do that. Their attorney can be here the next time. He's got 30 days notice. Everyone has 30 days notice. Let's each be here for that hearing, and allow everybody to have their opportunity to speak.
All right, so we did not have the public hearing tonight. That means that we will re-advertise it, which we have to do, and plan for it on November. I think that's what we agreed upon. I have not closed public comment yet, I believe so, sir. If you'd like to add something, please join us at the microphone.
Born in New York, Thomas Lindblom, 155 Kingsway. Moved down here 16 years ago, 17 years ago. Beautiful country. Today I look around and there's hundreds of houses going up. I was here today because a builder wants to build something between 210 and Benson Road. And I'm against that. I want to know where he lives and why he wants to do this and how much money is he going to make on it. Also, what you're talking about, the lawyer, if I get stopped for something and I have to go to court, if I don't show up, I'm guilty. And there's no ins and buts. That's it. I didn't show. He doesn't show. I was going to say before, why don't we vote on this? Give the people here a vote. Should he not have a shot to get it, or he has to be here? We don't all come, and then he says, like a lawyer, well, we'll keep pushing it off. Eventually, people will forget about it. All I'm saying is,
it's an important.
you got to think of your neighborhood. You get time, but you can't buy land back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And what I see going up around here doesn't look good. It's like dominoes thrown on the floor, and that's how they built it. That's all. Just think about it.
All Mr. Gregory did was ask for a continuance, just like you would for a speeding ticket.
Thank you, sir. All right, if there's nobody else for public comment, we will move on to the agenda. Thank you, guys. All right, next on the agenda, public hearing. All right, old business. Number 1, Brandon is going to talk to us about awarding the construction contract for the core water line replacement.
good evening, Mayor, Board. Let's see, last month you all tentatively awarded the construction contract for the core water line replacement. Since then, we submitted the package to Division of Water Infrastructure. They have approved that package. So what we need from you all tonight is a formal award for the construction contract for the core water line replacement. Cut and dry.
All right, and we're going to go to Campo and ask them to help us out. All right.
No,
Not for water.
All right.
For sidewalk.
All right.
Mayor,
Any
that's
questions?
another project, Mayor.
Oh, look,
We'll get to
my clicky
that.
link went to the wrong thing.
With that, I make a motion to approve a formal award to the construction contract for Busco Contractors Incorporated for the Town of Angier core water system replacement in the amount of $5,144,106, with a shortfall of $696,311 of the total cost being committed by the Town of Angier local funds. Well written, Brandon.
All right, any further discussion? Now, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you, Brandon. Old business number 2, it says Derek's going to give us an update on Ting Fiber.
All right, this is going to be really quick. I try to stay in communication with them every 2 or 3 weeks. They've been really good about responding, even if they don't act a lot. They do respond. I believe they will have all of our outstanding repair invoices paid back to us by the end of the year.
Right.
I'm pushing them really hard on that. We're starting to make some progress. I'm working with Dalton and Brandon on this, Public Works, to try to keep on them with it. So I will try to update you again, if not the November meeting, the December meeting, on where we stand with that. But we are making progress. Second thing is they have informed me that the Public Works building and the Parks and Rec building at Jack Marley Park will have Ting Fiber services by the end of October. They also are planning on providing Ting services to the new police station once that's completed. And I'm also have requested that they provide Ting Fiber services to the new park as well. And their engineers are looking into that, and they're supposed to be getting back with me in the next few months, whether or not they can do that. I would assume, since they can provide it to 594 Campbell Street, which is our Public Works, they should be able to do it to the new park, which is right down the street. So going to push them pretty hard for that as well. So that's pretty much it on the Ting update.
Well, thank you for staying on top of them, Derek.
Do my best.
All right, let's move to new business number 1. Our chief is going to speak to us about a road closure for some Town of Angier Christmas events.
Mayor, Board, this is going to be even faster. I'm coming before you this evening to hopefully get your blessing on the road proposed 2025 Christmas on the Square and Christmas Parade road closures. Nothing has changed. It's the same as it's always been.
Well, now I don't have anything to ask you. Thanks for that. Anyone else have any questions? All right, then I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the proposed 2025 Christmas on the Square and Christmas Parade road closures.
All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you, sir. Jeff, we get to see you tonight after all. We've got another road closure for Operation Homefront event.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. If you all recall, back in the spring, we waived fees for 274 Thistle Patch Drive, and that was part of the Operation Homefront. There was a groundbreaking ceremony that some of you all attended, and the home is now built and is ready, or will be ready in November, on November 7th, to have a key ceremony. And part of that ceremony and that event is the request is to close a part of Thistle Patch Lane and have the event, and
Everyone will be safe.
Everybody will be safe. Welcome in the new homeowner to Angier and to their new home, and part of that is closing the road down a little bit. There is someone from Meritage Homes here if you would like to ask any questions of him about ceremony, but it will be on November 7th.
Will there be snacks? Yes?
If
I said yes for those who couldn't see that.
Yes.
That's the only question I had.
And if there are any neighbors on the street, I'm assuming they'll be notified of this ahead of time so they can prepare. Okay.
All right. So to summarize for the people that didn't hear that, yes, they've made provisions for the people who live on that street. All right.
All right.
If there's no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve a portion of Thistle Patch Drive for Operation Homefront.
Yes.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Thank you,
Board.
Jeff.
Lane. Excuse me.
I don't know if it will be because I don't think it's a town event, town-sponsored event, but we'll make sure, at least personally and however we can, to promote it. And that'd be fantastic. Thank you. I'd be happy to share that on my own page, and I'll try to include it in my very exciting list of events at the end of every meeting next month, because the meeting will be before then. Brandon, you're back up again for the one I screwed up earlier. New business number 3. Entertain additional funding for Journey Road Sidewalk Project.
That's correct. So September 30th, we had the bid opening for the Journey Road Sidewalk Project. Bids came back a little higher than the engineer's estimate or what we had appropriated for the project. So with that, typically when that happens, we'll go back before Campo and ask for additional funding. And with our experience in the past, that funding typically comes at a 50-50 match. So the shortfall is 1.9 million. So we're looking at, the town being responsible for close to about 998,000. So, just understand that if we pursue this, then kind of the town is taking the responsibility to come up with those funds to cover that amount.
Can we?
So me, Brandon, and Kristen had a sit-down meeting, and Kristen gave us the green light on that. Kristen is our finance director for all of you out there. We talked about it. We looked at things, and Kristen feels really good about it.
Okay. I always have to ask. I mean, that's the obvious question.
And understand, this has been a 5-year project. Probably we've been working on this for a really long time. So
no,
we're pretty invested.
So, you know what, we never like seeing stuff come in higher than we expected, but I've said it before up here. I mean, the reason that we collect property tax money is to put it back into projects like infrastructure, sidewalks for public safety purposes, stuff like that. So it's not great that it's more than that, but I think it's important. And in my opinion, as long as, we're confident that we'll be able to cover that. That would be my only concern, and it seems like we're in good shape.
We are. Yep.
Any questions for Brandon on this one?
Are we committing to an extra $1.3 million from the town for this project?
Not an extra. So we've already committed 20% of what we had originally for the project, which was $356,000. So we're committing to an additional $998,000. So in a total commitment of 1.3. So we've already allocated $356,000.
So we missed this estimate by
No, we didn't.
almost, or the engineers missed this estimate by almost 50%.
Yep.
And
So Steve, the way that money works is the first application, it's 80-20.
Right.
80% from Campo, 20% from the town. Then if you have to go back and request additional funds, it's a 50-50 match.
So actually, the engineer's estimate wasn't too far off. The money that was allocated for this project was allocated probably 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, it probably was in line with the cost of the project. But now, 5 years later, we've got a shortfall to what it's going to cost.
Mm-hmm. And DOT has informed us they're trying to change the way they do these processes to speed things up a little bit because they take so long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time you get to the bid process, it's been 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And the way construction costs have gone up, it's not even close to what it was 5 years ago.
Are we going to be expecting on these other projects that we've got going, the McIver Street sidewalk, a similar issue is taking enough time that we could be off by as much as 50%?
Well, I
on
will
a
say that
original
the
estimate?
McIver Street project is moving a lot faster than this one did,
Mhm.
so hopefully we don't experience that with that project.
And then I know,
Hard to
like
say
the
until we
Camel
get-
Street project, we decided to self-fund.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's town funded.
And the McIver Street one, how is that one funded?
Same way. It's
Okay.
a lap project.
All right.
And
So
and
20.
and the reason this one's moving along is because there's not as much right of way acquisitions. That slowed the Juni Road one down big time because we had to
Utility
did a
relocation.
condemnation on a couple properties, and that's very time consuming, as Dan can attest to.
Mhm.
So we're kind of at the mercy of a lot of different variables in this. But the fact of the matter is, even if you do the math on it, I haven't really gotten too far into that, but the Campo's still paying for about 65% of this process. So
Yeah. And
the
then,
town's
you
on
know,
the hook for 35% of it.
If the estimate we did was in 2020, at the peak
Right.
of COVID, and it has gone up, not surprisingly, what I would ask, and honestly do not expect you to have this answer, but how much has our ad valorem income also increased in that same 5-year period? I would think, and I could be wrong, but enough to cover that shortfall.
Potentially, yeah. The Kristen question.
Yeah, I went to the Campo meeting a couple of months ago, and they expressed that LAP was getting an overhaul and getting some improvements, some necessary, easier, a slightly easier process. So.
Okay. And my understanding is that if the town's request is less than $1 million, it would not have to go before the board, the Campo's board.
Yeah.
So that'll save some time as well. So I think y'all meet quarterly. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
The executive board does.
The executive board does. Okay.
All right. Any other questions for Brandon? Then I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve town staff to pursue additional funding in the amount of $1,997,320.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed? 3-1, it passes. All right, new business number 4. Dan, you're on here for subpoena for Board of Commissioners ongoing investigation.
Right. So as I understand it, this agenda item is to consider issuing a subpoena by the Board of Commissioners related to the Anger Museum and the renovation work and grant issue. I can read, Commissioner Harmon sent me, Commissioner Hawley sent me a list of items that are proposed for the board to subpoena, and I can read those out. The first one is communications records. All email correspondence to, from, between members of the Anger Museum Board, Harnett County Commissioners, current or former Mayor Justness, Commissioner Harmon, and the previous town manager Elizabeth Krieg regarding the museum grant bidding process and related matters. Now, we'll need to decide who to subpoena what from, and how many we want to issue, but that's the proposal.
Will you run that list one more time?
Sure.
Yeah.
All email correspondence to, from, between members of the Anger Museum Board, Harnett County Commissioners, current or former, Mayor Justness, Commissioner Harmon, and the previous town manager Elizabeth Krieg regarding the museum grant, bidding process, and related matters.
Okay.
Okay.
That's like
So-
20 people, but okay.
Yeah, email correspondence between them. So, I guess depending on who these go to, but the next one is text messages among these same individuals covering the same scope. So essentially, email and text messages for the same group. Phone call logs and records of calls related to the museum grant bidding or associated activities.
Same group of people?
Well, it's whoever the board wants to issue these to.
But we have to specify that, right?
A subpoena would need to be directed to a particular entity or individual. The second category is meeting records, meeting minutes, agendas, and notes involving the museum board, Mayor Justness, Commissioner Harmon, and other involved officials concerning the grant procurement and project oversight. The third category procurement and bidding documentation, records of any advertisements, solicitations, or requests for bids for the Andrew Museum project, all bidding, quote, forms, proposals, and responses related to the project, documentation showing who authorized or initiated the bidding process, and procurement policies of the Andrew Museum, if any.
This is too much for me to write. Can you send me
Do
this
please,
email?
yeah.
I can send this out, yes.
Okay.
When was that sent to you, if you don't mind me asking?
This was sent some time ago.
Some time ago. So it was not supplied with the information that was put in our agenda for this. It was in time to be added to the agenda, is my question.
This was many months ago that this list was created, I believe, but this was the first time it was put on the agenda for discussion. So. The fourth category, financial records, grant applications, approval documents, and correspondence, invoices, canceled checks, disbursement records, and reimbursement documentation related to the grant and project expenditures, records of funds dispersed, returned, or reallocated. And fifth category, contracts and agreements, lease agreements between the town and the museum, any informal agreements involving Chevelle, Bob, or other parties, especially those related to property use, work on town-owned buildings, or unauthorized work, including MOUs, procurement policies, or other agreements, insurance policies or proof of liability insurance for the museum. The sixth category, correspondence and approvals, communications about the museum's occupancy or re-entry into the Andrew Depot, including any approvals or reapprovals by the town board after the museum vacated between 2018 and 2020 to the location at 61 South Broad Street East.
Wait. Read that again?
Communications about the museum's occupancy or re-entry into the Andrew Depot, including any approvals or reapprovals by the town board after the museum vacated between 2018 and 2020 to the location at 61 South Broad Street East.
Okay.
Seventh category, legal and compliance records, documents or correspondence related to compliance with North Carolina bidding laws, evidence of adherence or violations of ethics policies, conflicts of interest policies, or legal standards.
I need you to read that last one again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't read that very well. Evidence of adherence or violations of ethics policies, conflict of interest policies, or legal standards.
What sort of evidence? I mean, we have to be specific in the subpoena. I mean, we can't just give us everything you got on everything.
That one's probably a broad category that.
But we'll have. I mean, a subpoena requires us to request a specific document.
Correct. I think that I'm just reading out the list of proposed things, but that one probably would not be something we could.
Okay.
Obtain. The eighth and final category, related official records, any resolutions, votes, or formal approvals by the town board regarding the museum project, leasing, or related contracts. Documentation pertaining to the development and finalization of the Memorandum of Understanding, the MOU. Who was all involved in developing this policy, and where was it discussed prior to being presented to the town council? And that's the proposed list.
All right. So, Dan, you know far better than I do. I understand that this board does have subpoena power for issues that concern town business, but we have to adhere to the same guidelines as any other governmental subpoena, which is a request for specific documents. So we need to know those documents. We need to know who to send the subpoenas to. And we also have to place a time period, right?
Yes,
I believe
correct.
a subpoena requires also a time period to produce and potentially a location to do so.
Correct.
Okay.
The location would be easy, just to town hall.
Right. What else am I missing? Anything? Requirements, technical requirements?
That's the general requirements. You have to, and it would everything we ask for would have to be in the scope of what we're allowed to pursue. Anything that is, potentially town-related business.
Okay.
And I think, because the museum has a contract with the town for use of the space, things related to that use
There's
of the
relevancy.
space is relevant to the town's business.
All right. Do you have that in an email?
I can send it to you, yes.
Can you send it to me right now?
I'll
Because
send
we
to
have
the
a
board.
lot,
Please. Yes.
a lot to go
Absolutely.
through on that one to specify all of this, and it would help me to have it in front of me. I tried to write it down, but I gave up very quickly.
Yes, I'll email this to the board right now.
Bear with us, please, guys, so we can look at this. Would you guys want to take a brief recess while he sends this to us and we can look at it, or you want to keep going? It's up to you guys.
I've just sent the email.
Okay. We need that Ting Wi-Fi right now. That's what we need. What's the password? Ooh. Hey, there it is. Okay. All right. Well, let's start with number 1, which is communication records. So we need to know what, to who, and when. The what, I think, is pretty well covered. To whom? All right, so do you guys want to send a subpoena to each person that's listed in this group?
We're talking about the engineering board,
Mhm.
and whoever involved with the process.
At the time. Okay.
I don't think it's up to the because it kept from the board that this until after. So I don't even know
I think it.
Speak up.
At the time, can you hear me now? Thank you. So at the time, I don't know who was on the board with the Andrew Museum. I know Alan Coates was. I know that Alan Coates.
Was sent an email with the list.
So Dan,
This is with me. This is with the board. This has nothing to do with spouses. So don't bring them involved in this. Okay, don't even bring them any of our spouses involved with this.
Dan, would
this
it be
is
specific
because
enough?
we have people in the town that wants answers. How come we have had people stop us and ask us? That's why we're doing
All right,
this.
hold on.
Yes, Beth.
Would the
yes.
board like
You
to
know,
allow public comment on this agenda item?
whatever?
Would you like to make a motion to allow that, or otherwise?
That's up to the board.
This is the reason why people don't come forward is because of people getting hostile in the thing. Yes,
Well.
yes. We all know that the majority of the people that are in here tonight are supporters of Chevelle and the mayor. Okay?
Well, we won by a lot of votes.
And yes, we do support Andrew. Okay? I've done it for Ashley, I've done it for 8 years. Thank you.
Would we like to allow public comment?
Anyway, what do y'all have to hide? I mean, why can't we ask for the documentation, the receipts, the billing, who got paid, all that stuff?
I think the county has all of that, and he brought it. So we did have at that Tuesday morning meeting. All right,
From
guys.
what I was told, he does not have all the material because I've requested it from him, and he said he's missing documentation. Okay, so I'm just saying that's why we're requesting all of that.
All right, let's refocus, guys. Please, I know that you're passionate but please let's just be respectful and we'll move through this. Dan, my question to you is saying the Andrew Museum Board at the time, it sounds to me specific enough as a who without naming each person, or do we need to name each person?
You could send a subpoena to the Andrew Museum as an entity.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So that, good. We don't
Now-
need everybody's specific name on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
They may not have every board member's and employees' text messages and emails, but they would have whatever the museum has.
Okay. Harnett County. We just to all Harnett County, or do we want to specify?
Probably the attorney.
Okay.
The attorney.
The attorney for
Well,
Harnett County.
The subpoena would not be directed. I mean, it would be
Actually, it
delivered
had
to
to
him.
be to, yeah.
But, it would be directed to, I guess, depending on what are we asking Harnett County for?
All email correspondences from anyone in the county
From the
to
grant,
anyone.
anything that was pertaining to the grant, all the documentations, the receipts, billing, anything, the documentation.
Is it all of these entities back and forth to the museum, or all of these entities back and forth to each other?
Anything they can provide.
Well, I mean,
Anything.
we have to specify that.
Just you want to do the receipts and stuff like that?
Well, what you have now is...
I've never done a subpoena, so I'm
Right.
I'm
Me
getting
either.
trying to
I'm
lead,
trying to
get
work
legal
through it. Yeah.
action from you.
Yeah, so I think perhaps what we could do is do a subpoena to the Andrew Museum Board as well as Harnett County for records relating to the museum grant bidding process, and I think that's
suffice.
specific.
Yeah.
And I think if you say and related matters, that starts to become more vague.
That's
Okay,
fine.
and then we have Harnett County commissioners, current or former back to when?
All right, so hang on. So on the first one, we're doing
I'm still working on dot one,
Okay.
section
All right,
one.
still on dot one.
We got
Okay,
Andrew
so I
Museum
think the
Board,
county
Harnett
commissioner,
County.
the county commissioner that actually at that time helped get the bid, or not the bid, but the grant. I think Lou Weatherspoon was actually in working with Jim Bergen for years on trying to get money for the museum.
Okay.
And I don't think you can
That's
get anything
probably
now.
beyond the scope of
Yeah,
our subpoena.
exactly, exactly.
So any other Harnett County commissioners?
No.
Okay, so not Harnett County commissioners, current or former.
Mm-mm.
Okay, me, I'm named Commissioner Harmon.
Mhm.
Previous town manager Elizabeth Krieg. Regarding the museum grant, bidding process, and related matters. All right, Dan, are you confident in the what and who, or do you think?
So it would be Mayor Justness, Commissioner Harmon, and former town
Dan,
manager
it's
Krieg.
Please, for the love of God, it's useless.
Sorry,
It's
useless. I'm
useless.
sorry.
Thank you.
Apologies.
Thank you.
Email and text messages regarding the museum grant and bidding process.
All right, so you feel confident that's a workable who and what?
I think so, and I think we can put a time frame on there of maybe within the last year or 2 years. Does that cover?
When did you work on the thing?
It's been, well, it was
been
open
over a year.
last Crepe Myrtle, and so probably August of last year.
Well, it's been about a year.
We could go to June and be safe. I mean,
That's
it's
fine.
up to you guys.
Yeah,
That's fine.
June of 24.
What was that, Ms. Eustace? You said it was March?
Was it March? You just want to start it at
March of
January
24?
1st, 2024?
Okay.
Whatever y'all want to do.
Well, no, it's not what I want to
Well,
do.
that's
Certainly
fine with me.
not.
If that's what you want to do, if you want to start March, that's fine with me because
No,
I don't know the
want to
specific
do any of
dates.
this. You have to tell
Well,
us.
okay, go back to March.
Okay, March of 2024.
Okay. To present.
To present.
Can we subpoena for the future too?
You cannot.
Bob.
I'm sorry.
Can't spend.
All
things
right,
don't
so
exist.
we also need to specify a time window in which these entities have to produce this, right?
Yes.
What do you think, in your experience, with a scope this large and this many people, is an appropriate amount of time to give them to produce, to find and produce these documents?
I think at the very least you would do 2 weeks. You could do longer. It's up to the board.
All right, and if any of these entities can't find it in 2 weeks, what's the punishment?
Well, they can move.
It's a serious question.
Well, we would move to enforce the subpoena. We could do that. If they believe there was not sufficient time to comply, they could file a motion or file something with the court to quash the subpoena or modify the subpoena. So there are remedies there.
Is 2 weeks, do you feel, an adequate amount of time?
It's up to the board, really. So what's required is a reasonable
tomorrow.
amount of time. So I think there's discretion there.
Dan?
Yes.
Do you want to tell them how long you've had this document?
July
When-
14th,
I forwarded it to
2025.
the board,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I wanted to move on it then.
And for the record, on the author part of it, it says Brian Hawley.
That came, no, let me be clear. I did it on my computer. I do share the same email address with my husband. So yes, I did put it on there. And I was actually on medical leave. I did it on my home computer, and then I went and shipped it or emailed it to mine so I could give it to Dan. Yes, I did that. There's nothing illegal about that.
All right, Liz, let me ask you an honest question.
Liz. You can think whatever you want to. I really don't care. I don't really care what you all think. No, I'm the one that did it, and I'm the one pursuing this.
Take control of Ms. LaRue?
Yeah, no. This,
Oh.
back and forth.
I think we're good. We're going to be good, right? Liz, I wanted to ask you, no pressure, but I don't know, and you're the best person who might know this. If this request came in as a public record request to the town with a scope this large, going back to March of last year, how long would you want to be given to produce that?
We don't have a state statute, but
Mhm.
typically 45 to 60 days is considered a timely manner.
Okay. She said 45 to 60 days is typically considered a timely manner. There's no state statute that dictates that, but that's what I wanted, was just an idea.
Then is there a standard or a normal or customary time to request a subpoena of this nature? Is there
The
a
question was whether
customary
it's a
time
standard
to-
or normal
to-
time.
Is there a standard or customary time to
There's
request?
not. The law on subpoenas is generally, it requires you to a reasonable amount of time.
A quote, reasonable amount of time.
You're the attorney
It
in the
depends.
room,
Well, it
so-
depends on the context of what you're asking for, really. I've seen subpoenas for 45 days. I've seen them for 15 days. I've seen them for 30 days.
But a
So why
scope
we-
this large.
Why don't
Well-
we
We're still on first thought.
split the?
Oh, yeah, we're
split
still
hairs
on
and go 30
a
days?
number one, too.
Right.
So then just so everybody knows, my questions for
searching
2
emails
through
and
7,
texts
Dan,
is-
will be in the same time window or in addition to time window. So when we're talking time window, knowing that we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to go,
Yeah, well,
we need
the more
to
you
consider.
add on, the longer you would need to give, I think, to be reasonable. But
Okay.
it's
So do you guys want to go 1 through 8 and then talk about a time period, or do a time period for each one and decide if they're concurrent, or?
I say for the whole thing, 30 days. 30 to 45 days.
Well, that's up to you guys.
It's customary. I don't know why there would be anything wrong with that.
I will find out. All right, so we'll address the timing officially when we get to the end of the list then. Did you have something to add?
I didn't. I was
Okay.
just taking a breath.
all right. So I think that takes us through the first 2 bullets on number 1.
Okay.
First 2 bullets, we hadn't even got a text message.
Well,
yet.
it kind of loop texts in with emails, but we
Yeah.
can address that further if you want to.
Phone call logs and records of calls. I don't know if we,
Records of calls.
I mean, phone call log wouldn't relate to the museum grant. It would just be showing a number. So it'd be hard to
We
know.
can remove that and just do
Okay.
text messages.
Okay. Okay, so then that takes care of the first category.
Okay. Number
Right.
2, meeting records.
Yes. I mean, I guess this would be directed toward the museum,
Mm-hmm.
asking for their meeting minutes.
Okay, you feel that one's pretty clear? Who and what?
Well, I mean, it's up to the board, but I guess we were asking them for the minutes and agendas regarding any meetings from same date frame.
That relates to the grant procurement.
Yeah, concerning the grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the project. Okay, so that one's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Number 3, records of advertisements, solicitations, or requests for bids for the Andrew Museum. That would go to Andrew Museum as an entity.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems pretty clear to me what's being requested. You agree, Dan?
Yes, that one's pretty straightforward.
Okay, the next one, all bidding, quote forms, proposals, and responses related to the project. So again, sent to museum board. Documentation showing who authorized or initiated the bidding process.
That would probably be duplicative of the information we're already seeking.
Okay.
Mhm.
So strike that one.
Okay,
I'm asking.
that's fine.
Procurement policies of the Andrew Museum, if any.
Also straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 4, financial records, grant applications, approval documents, and correspondence. So
We've already asked for correspondence in the first category, so
Okay.
we'll probably remove that. And
Okay.
what we're looking for here would be any grant applications and approval documents.
Okay. Invoices, canceled checks, disbursement records, and reimbursement documentation related to the grant and project expenditures. Presumably that is of the Andrew Museum.
Right.
Mhm. Yep.
And I would have to sort of assume that the third bullet point is duplicative of the second bullet point.
Records of funds disbursed,
Mhm.
returns reallocated. Yeah.
Yes.
Are we going to send that to the museum or the county who administered it, or both?
My assumption would be that that would go to the museum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, number 5, contracts and agreements. Lease agreements between the town and the museum.
Which
Do
we
you-
have.
So we wouldn't need to
the
subpoena
town's
that.
party to that agreement.
You guys could help us find those.
I believe there was not a lease agreement until that one was voted on subsequently.
After. Mhm.
Okay.
But the board has that.
Informal agreements involving Chevelle, Bob, or other parties, especially those related to property use, work on town-owned buildings, or unauthorized work, including MOUs, procurement policies, or other agreements. Like what? What would an example of that be?
I don't know.
Well, the MOU was actually written, and then I want to find out who actually came up with the MOU, because usually we do it as a board.
But that's a different one,
And-
right? That's section 8. We're on section 5. Informal agreements involving Chevelle, Bob, or other parties, especially those related to property use, work on town-owned buildings, or unauthorized work,
It is number 5.
including
So
MOUs.
Is this for the MOU that was voted
Yes.
on by the board
Mhm.
last year?
Mm-hmm.
And
Informal
the request is
agreements.
who authored that?
Yeah, who came up with it?
Okay.
Who?
I don't know that we
Wouldn't
need to
the town
subpoena.
have
It was
it?
town
anyone for
staff.
that.
The town,
That's-
well, the
and
town's
Dan.
created it, so the town would have that
Right.
documentation.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Insurance policy. Do we have any kind of insurance on the museum?
I
Not
don't know
us,
why we would,
but
yeah.
not us. What about the actual people that are renting from us? They ought to have some kind of liability insurance. They
Well,
have
the
archives in there.
museum is
The museum.
renting from us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the museum.
Okay, so we're asking them for liability insurance
Mhm.
policies. Okay,
While you're at it, will
If
you
there's any.
if any.
will you verify if we have existing liability insurance requirements for all people renting our buildings? If you don't mind.
That is a good thing. Yes,
If we don't, we should have.
exactly.
So the line
That's
asking
not
for,
necessarily something we need to subpoena, but that's something we can look into.
No, yeah.
but we want to subpoena that now for this, for the museum,
Yes.
for this case.
For the museum, what we're subpoenaing or requesting in the subpoena is any insurance policies,
Right.
Okay.
liability insurance policies.
So I'm still stuck on the line. Any informal agreements involving
Me too.
Chevelle, Bob, or other parties, we need to we need to request something specific.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't, if there was an informal agreement, I don't know how to produce that. I guess
I'm not
is
sure
what I'm
what the
trying to
difference
say.
between
So
a
I'm curious.
formal and an informal agreement is,
Right.
unless it means reduced to writing. If it's an informal, unwritten agreement, I don't know how we could subpoena it.
That's fine.
If it is a written agreement, then I don't know that there's a distinction between formal and informal.
And have we covered agreements already in something else, or should we keep a revised version of that line in here? What do you think, Dan?
It's up to the board. I'm not exactly sure what we're looking for with that one.
Would anyone like to clarify?
I think if we just get the MOU, the policy agreement, how it came about, to
Okay.
actually,
All right.
that would suffice.
Okay.
Okay, so records of the development of the MOU that was
Exactly.
presented most recently.
Exactly.
Okay.
That would be in the possession of the town, so we don't need to subpoena that.
Right.
Okay. But know that we'd like to see that.
You're right.
Yeah, understood.
Correspondence and approvals. Communications about the museum's occupancy or reentry into the Andrew Depot, including approvals or reapprovals by the town board after the museum vacated. So that seems like town.
Yeah, that's the town, because at one point they vacated the museum. Yes, you did. You went to, it was actually the museum at one time was at Thanks a Latte.
No, it wasn't.
Alan, did
No.
Rachel Barnes took it down there with Christy Atkins.
It was
to
a
thank-
dream, but it did not.
Please use the mic, sir.
But no,
Sir.
but we did start moving stuff down there, did we not?
If you'd like him to
Yes.
respond, I'd
Go
like
ahead,
to get him
Alan.
to a microphone, please.
Is the, okay, oh,
Ugh, this is just another thing in all of your misinformation. No, we never moved down to Thanks a Latte. We have always been in the depot. There was a time when Thanks a Latte was empty. The town came and they said, could we decorate these windows, make them look more beautiful? We went right in the building that Jim Kasakavich was in. We put up a drape and displayed some items to clear a blank storefront in Anger.
Okay.
We never moved to Thanks a Latte. This is yet more misinformation that is piled together. I don't know where it came from, but I've answered your question.
Okay, so, and I'm gonna
So we
tell you what
never
I was
vacated
told.
the building.
I'm gonna tell you what I was told, okay? At one time, Rachel Barnes and Christy Atkins at one time was looking into buying that building to move the museum from where it's at now down there. That's what I was told.
Mr.
That's
Coates,
why-
did the museum ever vacate the depot
They
in that
did
time period?
Not, and so the question.
Okay,
of,
so then
this
you just
did-
cleared that up. Thank you so much.
That was what we needed to do. No,
That- okay, well then, see,
we
I'm
never
glad that you're here.
vacated the building.
Then I'm glad that you're here and you can actually verify that.
Would you
because
like
it was
him to stay up in case something else pops up, or
whatever. That's fine.
do you mind?
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
Good.
So I presume then this line is satisfied and does not need to be added to the subpoenas?
That's
or,
right. You can remove that. Thank you
Okay.
so much for clarifying that.
Senator Jim Bergen was property owner at this time and was assisting the museum with a possible permanent home.
Exactly, and he
What's-
was.
So we're subpoenaing Jim
No,
Bergen.
we can just remove that. We can remove that.
Okay. Legal and compliance records, documents, or correspondence related to compliance with North Carolina bidding laws. We are requesting that from the museum.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, is that? And it seems. Is that specific enough? What would?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what we're like.
What I would ask
with
is
the
there an
grant.
email here that wouldn't be covered in something else that's going to be subpoenaed?
With the grant, I know every grant, they come with instructions for bidding. Okay?
Correct.
When you all received the grant, was there any instructions about you all having to get bids?
We, the county and the state, have made public the grant application that we agreed to and signed.
Mm-hmm.
It was even printed in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you're asking here with this, as far as you have all this information. The documentation was provided by the county, by the state, and also printed in the paper. But we will be happy to provide the contract again, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think once we get all this stuff, if we can upload it on our town thing and let people just see. You know, I'm sorry that a lot of people that actually ask questions.
It'll have to be reviewed.
Yeah.
Well, yes, before we release anything. I'm sorry that the people that have asked questions and stuff like that do not come here and stand before you all so you all can ask them, why are you asking this? I'm sorry. And you all can chuckle. You all can say whatever. You can say that I'm on a witch hunt, whatever. I don't care. I'm just telling you that I've had a lot of people, when this came out, they asked me to do this. The town didn't want to spend the money. The town did not want to spend the money. So that's why we're doing it this way. Okay? When we all got elected, we all said we wanted transparency. So that's why I'm trying to get this before I get off the board. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think we're going to get all the information, because had this been done in July when I requested it, we would have had adequate time to have all this wrapped up.
Well, you could have added it in July.
I sent it to Dan to be done.
Did you
We've
Dan
discussed
to-
this since then.
Yes, and I
board
asked
should
him,
direct.
did I not ask you? I asked you, I said, why hasn't anything been done with this?
Well,
Right,
Dan
and the
needs
answer
a...
is I
Can't
need the
act
board
on one
to-
board member's request.
And
Yes.
Dan acts on
No.
behalf of the board.
no, it was not just one person.
There was no board
It was
action.
not, and while I was gone, I was hoping that the board would take action on this.
So in Dan's
And
defense, and your job is very hard, and I can appreciate that. Dan, so everybody knows, Dan is the town attorney. Dan works for the board of
board.
Commissioners, the entire board of Commissioners. And therefore, a directive must be given to Dan by decision of the board of Commissioners. So Dan, I don't recall, are you aware of a directive of this board of Commissioners to do anything with this?
No, and that was what I said, is I need the board to vote on this, that I can't issue a subpoena without the board.
That's what we're
directing.
working on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when I got off medical leave, I have contacted you and I told you that we need to go ahead and get this done. Did I not?
You did.
Right. And what you meant
And-
is we need to put it on the agenda so that the
yes.
board of commissioners
Exactly.
can direct Dan to work on this.
Exactly.
Okay. So here we are.
Exactly.
Well, why didn't you add it in
So-
July?
Huh?
Why didn't you add it to the agenda in July?
Because like I told him, and you can verify this or not, I don't really care. But like I told him, I was going in to have surgery. I said from July until August, I said, I am going to be on medication. I don't want to make any kind of suggestions, any vote or anything that could jeopardize anything.
I
So
just
that's
don't
why
want
I
to.
did.
I don't want to place blame on Dan for this being the first time that it's on the agenda, because I certainly
No,
don't think
that's
that is
fine. I'll
Dan's
take
fault.
all the heat. That's fine.
So we can't
I'm bringing it
complain
to y'all
about the
tonight.
time because here
I'm bringing it to
here
y'all
is.
tonight, but
All
I'm
right.
just saying, I went to him in July. He could have given me a little bit more guidance of saying, well, let me reach out to all the commissioners to see about getting this put on the agenda while I was out. When I brought it to his attention.
Dan, do you typically
And-
solicit board members to
Because
add
I
agenda
asked him,
items?
I said, the other board members, Jim and Steve, since we are doing this investigation, I said they will be reaching out to you to tell you, yes, they want to move forward or whatever.
With putting it on the agenda.
Right. And moving forward to getting it done. Yes.
Well, I mean, they can't direct him to write subpoenas. They can
No, to be
add it to the agenda.
for us to actually move forward to do the subpoenas. Everything has to have board approval. So it has to go on the agenda to move forward.
And your surgery was when?
July.
And when was the Tuesday morning meeting? Was it July 14th?
No, it was actually July the 8th.
Was it? Okay.
Mhm.
So I mean, it could have been put on that because you were here for that
But
one.
at the time, I think it was that day that we had the special call meeting. I went to you and I asked you. I said, "Have you looked it up about the subpoena?" And what was your answer?
I don't recall, but I
Am
know
I-
the discussion
Okay.
was along the lines of I couldn't, in order to issue a subpoena, we'd have to have a board
Right.
vote on that, and it would have to
Right.
be put on the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is why it's happening tonight, and I am sorry that you feel the time window is short, but I didn't know about it, and we could have added it to the agenda with more time to go. But here we are. I lost my track here.
Bullet
Okay.
number 7.
I believe we're on, yeah.
Second dot or first dot?
First.
Okay, documents or
Well-
correspondence related. Okay,
Well,
that
actually,
one.
on number 6, I do want clarification on.
Okay.
So I think what we're asking for is a copy of the
For number 6,
bidding
nothing.
documents.
That
or-
one's white.
Number 6,
For
I
number
think we,
six
I
was
think we
white.
struck. I think we
Okay.
struck.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's great.
all of number
6
6.
was strike.
All right. And we did do the first one of 7. I remember that.
Okay. You know what? My numbering got messed up. So legal and compliance records.
Come on, Dan.
Yeah, because I deleted another one. So for legal and compliance records, what we're seeking is the bid documents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And for 2, the ethics policies and stuff like that, I just think for that one, and we can actually, probably produce that ourselves, all the ethic that we took, the policy and everything, that all the classes that we took, I think if that we just post what that is, I think that would be suffice.
Well, you're looking for evidence of adherence or
And I think-
violations to
right,
policies.
and I think if we post, well, to be honest with you, people think that it was unethical for you to do the museum, the bid.
Okay.
Okay, so I think if we
Should
actually
we subpoena them?
No,
Oh.
I'm just saying the town can provide that, the ethics policy.
So that's not really part of the subpoena.
Exactly.
That'll be part of the presentation.
Exactly.
So,
So that whole one we can strike from this
Yeah, just strike it.
and wait for the presentation of the results.
Right.
All right. Number 8, related official records. Okay, any resolutions, votes, or formal approvals by the town board regarding the museum project, leasing, or related contracts. Well, we would have those records, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to have that on the subpoena list. Documentation pertaining to the development, finalization of okay, so this is more
Is that's the
who
same thing
developed
about them? Yeah,
who developed the MOU,
and that's just a town thing, so we don't.
who
need to
was
get
all
subpoena.
involved in developing this policy,
Mhm.
and where was it discussed prior to being presented. Okay, so that's not. I mean, that's not in subpoena language.
Right.
What do we?
Town information. Yeah.
Yeah, town information.
Okay, so we could do that in-house. This is the initial list, and I would ask the museum to begin providing these documents immediately. This property is owned by the town of Anger, and as such, the museum is required to comply with this, considering they did construction and repair work without the landlord's approval. Okay. That's going to be a fun one to sort out. Dan, do you think we have covered the what and who sufficiently?
I believe so.
I have one question on the who in the very first. Did we add the town of Anger as party to the?
Steve, I don't think we would subpoena ourselves because we have access to those records in-house.
We have access to them,
Right.
But that doesn't mean we have to provide them.
Well, I mean, you could go to the town clerk
No,
and she
if
can
you
provide
want
any,
the
any of the
records?
town's record.
If we want the records, we need to go ahead and apply it in the subpoena. Otherwise, if
So you
we're
would like
here,
to subpoena the
I
town
would
of
like
Andrew.
the town
Dan,
to
can
be a
we
party
add
to that as
ourselves?
Well, what documents are we talking about?
Anything it's part of anything that the town has done, the Board of Commissioners, any of these documents.
We've done a lot.
Well,
that
we've
are
got,
pertaining to this. The
I
town
mean-
of Anger is not listed as a party to this subpoena.
Town of Andrew is
We're issuing
the
the subpoena there.
subpoena.
Can we subpoena ourselves? That's illegal.
Who's going to object? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We
the
can
question,
provide.
The
we can
question
provide
there is
without a subpoena.
the question there is if the information is not provided in the timely manner, is there a legal authority to require that information?
Yes, a subpoena is generally akin to a court order.
If
Right.
the town is listed as a party. If they're not listed as a party, they do not have to provide. It's not a request for public records.
Steve, you're a commissioner. You have access
I
to
understand that. We're
public
putting
and
all of this
protected
information
records of the
together.
town.
That's what the subpoena is, to put all the information together so
Well-
it can be viewed
Well, no, an
as
attorney
one
puts it
piece.
all together. You're going to get a pile of documents.
Right.
I mean, it's the town of Anger on both sides. So if we're saying we subpoenaed the town for documents and we haven't produced them,
So what happens if
you
there's
can't
documents
go
not
into court
there?
and say,
sue ourselves.
Judge, I haven't given the documents to
Well,
myself.
and so that would be a
Right.
I need you to
question
order me to do it.
that I have is like, what if there is no, like, what if
Right.
they requested and there's nothing to provide?
Well, then,
Then that's fine.
then it's
Then you don't
compliant.
provide.
Well, so okay, we can stop there with that.
So the subpoena is if you have any documents in these categories, produce them. If you don't have documents in those categories,
you don't produce
you don't
anything.
produce anything.
Right, but what I'm saying is that those documents and the investigation has been done by the county, and
Right.
they made their decision, and so therefore, what are we trying to achieve?
Well,
Okay, so
Yeah.
I know, did you give the county all your minutes to the
They did
But-
not request minutes.
Okay,
but
well,
they
see-
got all financial documents.
financial documents?
Which were
Okay.
provided to the public as well. You've seen
Okay.
them.
Yes, but what I am wanting, the minutes. I'm not just wanting the bids, the receipts and stuff like
The
that.
minutes we have that is a piece of cake.
Thank you.
So Dan, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I have a serious question, and I don't
But
want it
I
to fall
asked
out
you
of my
before
head.
for the minutes and I haven't gotten anything.
Dan,
yes.
So Alan,
Is-
I mean, that would be a quick
is
thing and I appreciate that. If you could
anything
expedite that.
related to the grant, its procurement, its execution, the bidding process, do you feel that if this is opposed, you could justify our jurisdiction to subpoena their use of a grant they got from the county?
So the way I've sort of looked at this is we
Because
have
is the town a party in that
the
transaction?
town is not a party to that transaction.
Do we have authority that you think would be upheld to subpoena records regarding a transaction where we are not a party? So I'm not saying the work in the building, right? It's a town building. Clearly, there's relevance to our board. But the grant itself from the county to the museum, how they used it, how it was dispersed, how that investigation went, aside from what's already public record, do we have the authority and can defend that authority to subpoena those items?
I mean, ultimately, that would be a question for a court to decide. So I can't give a definitive answer on that. But the way I look at this is we have a contract with the museum to rent that space and to occupy that space. And it's within the purview of this board to review that contract and decide whether you want to continue leasing that space or renting that space, whatever it is, to the museum. And this sort of falls under that umbrella of is this arrangement working for the town? Do we feel like this is who we want in this building? I think you can sort of justify it under that.
You could justify a subpoena in transactions between the county and the museum as part of this scope.
I can't give you a definitive answer on that.
I know you can't because the legal
it's-
system is what it is. I get that.
There's arguments to be made on both sides.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it would be up to a judge, but I
Okay.
feel like we at least have a good faith basis to issue the subpoena.
So I might as well try
I,
it, right?
I have to ask a question. I thought you advised them many times that the town did not have anything to do with the grant agreement between. So now I'm confused because now you're saying yes, we can subpoena. I'm getting a different side of the fence now, but I know that you advised them earlier that the agreement, financial agreement between the county and the museum didn't have anything to do with the town.
And that's still correct.
Okay.
But the subpoena power is a little bit broader than that, and considering whether to continue into a contract with a particular entity or organization, I feel like we have some ability to delve into, our sort of business partner, for lack of a better word, of the entity renting this space, and that's how I would sort of categorize that. But it's correct that we were not involved in the transaction.
I just wanted to make sure that you felt confident we could defend that proof of relevancy to subpoena those things. So if you think it's just worth a crack.
Again, I can't answer definitively on that.
Okay.
I feel
All right,
like
that's
we have
fair.
a basis.
That's fair.
Based on the information provided, how much time do you think that this will require of you?
Well, I mean, you didn't write it right now, did you?
What's that?
Did you write
I
the
did not.
subpoenas?
I haven't
Okay.
done it yet, but I've got the idea of what I need to write. It shouldn't take more than a couple hours.
Our board will decide whether or not to, basically in this case, to direct
be
Dan
within the
to
judicial system.
write subpoenas.
Wouldn't be within the judicial system. It's just a subpoena. But I guess
Yeah.
it would be a.
Okay, so I
A
still have
civil
several
action.
questions, but what's the expected time frame to produce? Let's circle back around to that one now that we have gone over everything that's going to be in there.
We said 30 to 45 days. I don't know if we. I
It's
we
up
have-
to
we
it's
have
up
pick
to
one.
the
30
board.
days.
Okay. Rule 34 is slightly different. That's request for documents in a civil proceeding, like request for production documents.
Which is not the case for this.
Right. This is not a civil proceeding necessarily. Yeah.
Okay. So is this a time frame to respond or to produce, or is that the
To
same
produce.
thing?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, and there's time for objections to the subpoena as well.
Okay. So 30 days, is that, I think we need some sort of consensus.
30 days.
30 days, yes.
Now, I will caveat what I said earlier about a couple hours to draft the subpoenas.
Right.
If we have to go into court and try to enforce the
I
subpoenas.
haven't gotten to
obviously
those
that
questions
is-
yet. But actually, we can roll right into that. Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. What does a subpoena cost the town? It's not much, right?
Right.
It costs something, but it's. I don't even know. I mean, spit a number out, Dan. Is it $1,000?
Well,
Is it $10?
I want to know which employee is going to be responsible for maintaining and documenting all of this information.
Well, we'll have to have, I guess my thought would be that they produce any responsive information to town hall, probably to the town clerk.
Or to you.
Or to me.
All right. So
could do
you don't
that.
have to answer my.
Electronically?
Well, that's
Yeah,
that's a good
electronic
question
compliance
too.
would be fine.
Okay. I don't care if you answer the question about what a subpoena costs, because my point is
I
more.
can't answer that.
Okay.
I don't think there's a filing fee for that.
Okay.
But that would be the extent of it. As y'all are well aware, my contract is a flat monthly
Right.
fee, so it
Right.
would not. The time that I take to write the subpoena will be
Okay.
as part of my.
So it won't cost the town money, although it will certainly take resources. And I think there's a very important difference between town resources and town money. Resources being your time, which, we pay you monthly for. And so you give us what we need from you. Town clerk's time, certainly other members of staff, and then the time of everyone on this list. Now, the town is great for us. It doesn't cost us anything. We could just subpoena this stuff. Well, I imagine if the museum decided to retain legal counsel, then they could forget the publishing of this book, and the penny social might be for legal expenses. But I guess that's up to the museum.
I can tell you, we don't have any money, and you know that. And we're going to have to hire a lawyer against you. We can't defend these accusations on our own. And it's going to cost us a lot of money that we don't have. And I am saddened.
Alan, if you would just submit the minutes, I think that would be enough, to be honest with you. Just whatever you have, and
Thank
then
you.
we can get the
Thank
other
you.
documentation.
From the state, the county, that you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You want to make that a motion?
You heard it.
Do we need some kind of formal?
I mean,
Certainly.
We're not
yes.
trying to bankrupt the museum. We're not trying to kick you all out, which has been, a lot of people have said that
And
we're
that's
trying.
what Dan was
and-
alluding to just a moment
Well,
ago. Whether
that's
you want
not.
to decide to let us
and
stay.
that's why I'm saying this. That's why I'm saying this.
That question has
That
been
is-
brought up by public.
And we don't want that, because the museum's been around for a very long time, and I think it leaves a legacy for the town of Anger. Okay, we are not here to close down the museum. We're not here to bankrupt y'all. We just, if you could provide the minutes, okay, provide the minutes, and we can get probably everything else from the county. Okay. Would that suffice you all? I mean,
I think we need to abide
because I'm
as
the one
close as
taking
we
the beating
can
up here.
to
Nobody
this,
else is talking.
We
So-
need, we need to,
It ain't just, it's not just me. It's, I wrote it, yes. And I talked to the other commissioners about it. I talked to the other commissioners about
remember,
it.
Jim,
It's
you have
not
any-
just me.
Jim, we have not heard from you at all, and I want to give you an opportunity. Guys,
I'm with her with going with the just the minutes. I'll be happy with that.
all right, so I want to be very clear, and you have to correct me if I'm wrong, but so to hold off on subpoenas, all of them, or
No.
just museum ones?
No.
Okay, so still everything we talked about already, and the minutes are in there.
is there anything that we have asked for as far as in this subpoena that is going to be an issue as far as
Them turning over?
as providing?
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
This is a
think
lot. This, if you
It's a
want-
lot of information.
It is, and I would not. We work tirelessly to provide all of this information to the state, and then again to the county. It's all there to be gotten, and it was published in the paper and made available to the public. But now I don't understand what more we can give you.
I think
I can
with the
stand
subpoena,
here
we're-
right now and make a statement to you, and I'll make it to you, and I've already made it to you. And I wanted to do this and didn't do it. I want to clarify one thing right now. Will you allow me to do that?
Sure.
You asked the question, was there a bidding process? No, there was not. And the reason there wasn't, when we spoke to both the state and the county, we were told we signed an agreement for $40,000, but that $40,000 contract agreement was broken down. $22,000, it's on the statement, going to Black River for their woodworking procedures. The rest of it was subcontracted out to electricians, painters, floor refinishers for damage that we had repaired, broken glass in windows that needed to be fixed. And we were asked, would we like to pay those individuals, or would the company let them write to their subcontractors that they use? And of course we said, no, we don't want to be writing all those checks to those people. Yes, it would be easier for us to just write you a check and you pay them. The contract breakdown totally states $22,000 for this, $7,000 for this, $5,000 for this, $4,000 for that. So, in answer to you, we did not think that we needed bids because the project looked like one contractor. If you do dealings with more than one contractor, above $30,000, that's when you needed the bids. Right. Well, we didn't think we were doing bidding with work with other people. And I'll say, even the county said, Alan, I am so sad to tell you this, but I think you know. We understand, in your mind, you thought that you were paying Black River Woodwork $22,000, what the agreement in the beginning signed was, and that you were not doing business over $30,000. And I'm sorry that but you understand, in black and white, on paper, it looks like you did not follow the regulations.
Okay, I need to ask you a question, Alan.
Yes, please.
Okay, in this last statement, you made the point of saying that there was communication between the county, between the town, between Black River and the museum about whether it's 22,000 and adding all the other people in. That's the information that's being subpoenaed.
No, I didn't.
What kind of communications was that? Was it electronic, or were they handshake deals? Were they?
No.
Were they?
It's a written contract.
Okay, that's what's being asked for.
Oh, and yeah, no problem
Get
giving.
in the newspaper.
I mean, go to the newspaper. I know you went to the county. I
I
hope I have explained what happened. I would never work to deceive this town and its money. My volunteers have worked tirelessly out of the goodness of their heart. And it is me personally being attacked. It's not the museum. It is me. And there's no reason for it. I did not work to hoodoo anybody. And I am saddened that we got the money, and if I had provided information, or we had provided information for you earlier, it wouldn't have been the answer you wanted to hear. You would have turned it into something else. And I wanted to tell you this, but I knew no matter what I'd said, it would not be taken the right way. And I felt confident enough in sharing that only with Mr. Kasakavich.
Well, I'm sorry that you felt that way. This would have probably alleviated a lot of stuff had more people known what you just said, if you would have been able to come to a town meeting and just said what you just did. Huh? To start it? I don't know who started, but I did file a complaint. Yes, I did file a complaint. But I was
Mr.
not
Coates,
the
do you
only
know who
one.
filed the complaint to the DOJ over this?
I certainly do. And I can.
Yes, it was my husband and myself.
Yes.
Yes.
The documentation is out there.
No, exactly.
They have to, by law, tell you who is seeking the investigation.
Right.
And they did.
Yes.
We were told.
It said Brian and LaRue.
Well, actually, it didn't say you, LaRue. It just said Brian Hawley.
Well, it should
Every
have,
correspondence
because
we
it was-
got. Okay, well.
Well, it should have, because it was Brian and LaRue that did this. And if
they're all
they did
his.
it, if they did not put that, I'm sorry, but it was both of us.
File another investigation.
It was both of us.
should we subpoena the
But
DOJ
I was
too?
not the only one that turned this into the DOJ.
He just said
what?
Black River Woodwork.
I said it was my husband and I. But there's another person. There's another person that turned it in, and I'm not bringing their name out. Because I'm not going to
We
set
have to wait
myself
till she's
up to
done
be
talking to be
liable.
respectful.
There was another entity
Come up
that
to the
went
mic.
to the
We'll
DOJ.
recognize you.
And I'm not going to put the person's name out there so you all can go after that person. If they want you all to know, fine. But yes, my husband and I did go to the Department of Justice and file that. Just like I also sent it to the state auditor. I have nothing to hide. If you all would like to ask questions or see the emails that I sent, I'll be more than happy to.
Oh, I'd love to show him.
So ultimately, I would ask, and I brought this up at the Tuesday morning meeting too. So, money aside, resources for all these entities to deal with it. So this been turned over to DOJ and then trickled down through departments where it might be relevant, all the way through the state and all the way down. The ones who found it relevant have conducted or are conducting their own investigations into the parts of this that relate to them. Dan, what authority at the end of this investigation does this Board of Commissioners have to do? My understanding of it was on Tuesday morning, and help me if there's something else, is that the relevant actions that this board could take in light of any information that's found as a result of the investigation and the subpoenas as they relate to the investigation, this board could decide whether or not to remove the museum entity from the depot building, to terminate that agreement. That would be at this board's discretion. And as far as I'm concerned, well, as far as the county is concerned, we could never really do anything to the county. We cannot do anything to the previous town manager. And Ms. Harmon and I could be censured. Is there any other action that this board could take other than consider the agreement with the museum and or censure myself and Ms. Harmon?
I mean, those are the things that I can think of. I mean, of course, there's always a motion proceeding, but
Right. Well, typically, a motion requires proof of a serious crime,
right,
which the state obviously would be handling their own investigations for that.
I don't know that it requires necessarily a serious crime. It requires some sort of misconduct. And
Right.
There's lots of due process things that come into play. with
Okay.
that.
The town has tried a motion before, right?
I don't know.
I think I read an article about that a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would acknowledge that Mr. Price had a question about who paid the subcontractors for the work in the museum. If you don't mind answering that, if somebody can give us an answer for that.
I don't mind. I thought I answered it a while
You
ago.
did.
I did.
You did.
I wanted to clarify. I thought that I did. As I said, it was broken down in the agreement, which we signed, the estimate that we started with. And it was broken down, starting with cabinetry, the stuff that Black River would be building and manufacturing. And then it listed painting, electrical estimates. So those people, and as I said, I thought I made it clear, when asked, did I want to pay those people in, or did the museum? Want, and we said, no, we don't want. We would rather pay you to cover all of it.
They paid your sub-tiers.
No, the Andrew Museum, aside from all the other smaller things they did, blinds and the other stuff that money was spent on, most of the construction work was paid to my company, Black River Woodwork. And then my company,
What does that amount to? More than 22,000?
around 50 was the total, I think.
You have a license to work for that amount of money as a contractor?
Yes, sir.
You do?
Yep. 750,000 is my limit.
I mean, as I said, we didn't think we were breaching the $30,000 contract with one individual.
Right. Alan, I don't want you to spend too much breath defending yourself on that, because ultimately, the county decided that you had done it wrong. The
Regretfully,
remaining
they
the
did
the
say,
remaining
"Yes, we
funds.
understand what you were thinking, but
Right.
unfortunately, black and white law, I have to do the other. We have to do the other way."
Yeah.
Regretfully, they were sad.
Yeah. And
They-
so it was in the paper, and it's public record that that was the decision of the county,
Mm-hmm.
and the remedy was to collect the unspent money of that grant, not to pursue any of the spent money that related to that. And that is now done. That
Over.
matter is
That we
closed.
have sign-off letters from both the state
Mhm.
and the county
Okay.
saying we are done. It's over.
All right. So
why isn't it over here?
would this board?
Because it's personal.
Well, is this board, and this is a question for all of you, and I might ask you individually just to see, so everybody has a chance. Is the board interested to entertain the possibility of removing the museum from the depot?
No.
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 Steve? Oh, sorry.
Oh, we're texting now?
Steve, are you interested to discuss the possibility?
I heard the question.
Okay.
I'm
All
taking
right.
a moment to answer that.
Okay.
Y'all have to remember that I didn't start until January. This all happened prior to my coming and sitting on the board.
Okay.
So a lot of this information is new to me. I want to gather the information to see if there's any wrongdoing between the interweaving of a town entity, or a local entity's money, town employees, boards of commissioners, mayors. Is there anything interwoven in between that? Which I think that there is. Now, what the remedy for that is, I don't know until I've got all the information. Now, I would like to see this subpoenaed information, and I would like to be able to look over it. Then I would like to approach Dan and see what is the remedies.
I think we talked about the worst case remedies
No,
are to
yeah.
remove the museum
There's
and
not-
censure myself.
We don't know the remedies.
Well, yes,
until
we don't
know
have the authority to
until we
arrest
know-
anybody or
We don't know the remedies until we know what the problems are.
Those are the remedies.
Okay.
The problem was that the museum did not follow the bidding process and therefore had to give back to the county the unspent funds. That was the resolution to the.
That's not the questions that I have. So,
Alan, I can assure you, we are not intending on having you all removed. I told Rachel Barnes I would never do that to you all. Okay,
Just
that
gonna
is
make a
not
public spectacle.
I'm hearing hesitation though from other people,
Mhm.
and that alarms me.
Okay.
Because we know you won't be here.
Okay.
There could be people here that would follow through with that idea, but I thank you for saying that would not be your intention. We have hesitation over here and will not commit to either. Jim, can I ask you, would you want to see, would you vote to move the museum out of the
Absolutely
building?
not.
Thank you. No, he said he absolutely.
Would you want them to be removed?
I would not necessarily want the museum
board will
to
allow it.
be removed. I would want the interweavings of the finances between this museum and this town and this board.
Heard him say, I did not realize the state has already closed it out. The county's already closed it out. There's nothing else to find except there's nothing else to do. There's nothing gonna happen once you get the subpoena and find that he's already admitted that he made a mistake.
Okay.
And I think the mayor would probably not do what he did again. So I think it should be over with.
Okay.
I truthfully do.
I don't.
come in here thinking-
I don't. I don't want to slow the roll, and I really apologize, but Commissioner Kazakevich has requested a 5-minute recess. If you guys are all right with that.
Sure.
All right, we'll take a 5-minute recess. I'm sorry, Mr.
Why?
Price.